welcome once again to the greatest show in the midnight. Yes, the late night miniatures. Today is a lovely day because I am so thrilled with those damn Romans that I think I will go into them actually and play maybe. Yes, that would be nice to do it. So, while we are going to continue to painting these lads, earlier in the day I have discussed it on Messenger with a friend of mine. He has this Roman all the way. So, and I really want to do like first impression of the Hail Caesar from Warlords Games was that I really want to play like Rome, but he has already got his army before me. So what did I have? Well, I have Hannibal or some tribes, or the Gauls, the Celts, or the Germanic tribes. And I'm not there's nothing wrong with those armies, of course, but I'm more like this Republica. So I thought, when I was looking up I have some the Lorica Hamata. Yes, they are covered with Lorica Hamata. Yes, this is the name of the chainmail that they are wearing, and it is a Gladius Hispanicus because it's a sword that Rome adapted from Spain, actually, from the mercenaries. So I've been studying a bit. Anyway, I plunged into the Civil War, the battle with Pompey, or the fights with Pompey. So we're gonna I'm thinking of doing a Pompey army. Or he's a Roman, and actually he was the official Roman before the intrusion. Caesar expelled bastard that he was, come marching down from the north toward Rome. So to give the Pompey's army the chance to mobilize, Pompey left, and the first engagement, as I recall it, I may be wrong, but Pompey actually won. Right, so he managed to exploit. There was this Caesar has set up this fortification, a small fort, land fort, mobile fort, or whatever you call them. It's like a bit reinforced camp, and Pompey used his knowledge of the terrain and exposed the weakest part of the barricades or the wall or whatever you call it to thrust into the camp. So actually Caesar was forced to flee. Yes, a great success for Republica. And then the second one, we went a bit wrong. I think that in the first fight, Caesar underestimated the quality of the troops of Rome. In the second one, there was a bit around, because Pompey has won, okay, and they are very similar armies that fight, even though Pompey got a bit more cavalry. But something in the battle at the ala, which means wing, went wrong, and those like the cavalry, after routing the cavalry of Caesar, like continue into a wall of spikes. Not really spikes, but legionnaires, Caesar's legionnaires with pilum that they use as spears, job, and tear the poor horses apart, which means that he could outflank them and crush them like that. But I think that it was more like a last stand for Caesar at that point, because he was. Actually, it was Pompey that was forced to stand, because stand and meet with Caesar, or I think Caesar had a food storage of some sort. Anyway, but at the end was that Pompey fled to Egypt to muster a new army, and then was assassinated because he had his whole bodyguards, sadly, strangely, and the rest fled to Carthage, or whatever it was, rest of the Carthage. So we are going to do a battle, at least 1 or 20 or 124 battles as we can. And we call some of them battle, of course, we do the historical ones, right? The second battle between Caesar and Pompey. but we will also do like equal kind of Roman armies meeting each other. When you have these wolf-like guys in the front, and the Hamati, Hatati, and these primars, primates, and then you have the Triati with the spears. So I've been a bit of learning, and I know that the centurions had the combs, right, in the horizontal, like on this way, and on parades, the Roman legion has these ones, right, but not in battle. Only these ones. And they have this Optimus, and you have cohorts, and you have a lot of line, and you have mine fees, or whatever you call them. But I have a bit of glimpse about the Roman army. So today we try to finish these guys off, but not finish them off, but make them complete with painting. So now we will start to paint with I don't know if I wanted to touch them sandals. I definitely want to touch the tunic. I think I'm a sandal guy. I need to put a bit of highlights on those sandals. But it's gonna be, oh no, don't touch sandals, Patrick. Don't touch the sandals, let the sandals be. We will let the sandals be, and we're gonna paint a bit skin, a bronze, iron, and tunic. And we're gonna start with tunic. Yes, tunic and maybe a bit of leather, actually. Yeah, well, we start with the tunic. So we're gonna take up our miraculous paint. We're gonna like make them, and while we shake, we can take out yerba mate. And while we are painting, we are in our minds doing this this battle plan to crush the enemy. Maybe we will use traps, like flee some units just for the sake of it, to open up a bit, and then crush him from the sides. We have a lot of options, and we have the house rule that due to the fact that Caesar had his legions all the way from Gaul or Germanic or whatever, his Franks or whatever he was fighting there, he can have as many elites as possible, but I can only have one. Now the other house rule that we thinking of is that cavalry units, he can only have one cavalry unit, I can have two. So that's a bit difference in our but the other way we can do the same armies, right? But just to can rely or reflect a bit of the actual historical battle of the I don't know, what was it, no, that was not Pompey, whatever, the one that he lost anyway, the Pompey. So we are applying a paint, and we are applying paint here. By the way, I have looked up on some water palettes from Army Painter, and I must say that my water palette is very elemental. It's like a primate, right? Before we discovered fire, more or less. They have this water palette that they can close, and they have this sponge-like, like I have paper underneath this one, but they have this sponge-like, so it's much more water, moist, that's contained it. And then they have this paper on top of it, the baking kind of paper thing, and they have a lid, which means that they can keep their colors fresh overnight or day. It depends when you paint. If you're like me, paint at night, you put them, they're always dried up in like an hour or so. Even that I'm working with a water palette. The water palette is good for, I don't know, an hour or two, right? With this one. But then, sadly, it dries up. So I'm thinking of making this this thing. I don't know if I did this right, because no, it's okay. I will just highlight the upper part, because I don't want to, when you're using the game Warlords paints, not Warlord paint, what do you call it? Army painter inks, they become a bit boring. Can I use the word? Dull. Maybe because they cover all of the miniature. It's dampen the color, right? So they look like that they are standing in a shade or something. So we need to bring forth the colors, and yes, and that's exactly what we are doing now. We are painting. In the recesses we leave the shadow, the soft ink or whatever, the soft. It's not ink. It's soft tone ink. Yeah, ink soft tone. And then we apply the regular color, right? On everything that is standing out, and on the high part of the model or the textures, we put a bright color. That's not about that. You see a contrast with this one. So I'm gonna use a bit more a brighter color. Not really like white, but even though that you still see a difference. And now I must really concentrate because I don't want to fibble around on the for example the flesh. And we only leave these in the deep recesses, like next to the chainmail and beneath when the sun don't shine. Now that was a bit vulgar, but we are all adults here, aren't we? Yes. So yeah, it's coming up really good. We have a good speed, and we try. I just realized yesterday that it took more than 2 hours of the movie legs, the vlog, the video that I uploaded last time was 2 hours long. Jesus, man, lucky how long that movie. And I don't realize that I'm a real slow painter. I paint as a snail. I think a snail would do a faster job than I do on these miniatures, and they are just 4 guys. Okay, if I'm painted like 20 or a whole unit, but this thing takes time. No wonder you have lots of options, well, lots of home pages, and we paint your miniatures for $5, or we have this other very expensive companies, like in Scandinavia. They have some companies that take, I don't know, about 10 euros per miniature. Come on, 10 euros. You need at least, like, I don't know, 50 miniatures to, it's like 5,000 quid. I mean, euros, or 500 euros. It's a lot of money. Okay, you don't need the pencils, and you don't need you save time, of course. Time is money, friend, as they say in Warcraft, the goblins. But anyway, it is a bit too expensive. And then you have some other guys that do it a bit cheaper, but maybe not that good. But anyway, I think if someone just make them like this will save me a lot of time. But then what's the fun with doing it? Because as I tell, where's the broken nose guy? No, it's not you. It's not you. Alright, it's you. Yeah, I love that guy. Oof, that was close. I twitched a bit with my hand.
and it was close for the blue paint to come over and touch his knee. Okay, so now we're doing this one, and then we're doing this one, and after that we will mix in a bit of white in this color. Yeah, awesome. And now, because we have a lot of blue left, yeah, one other thing, when you painting like this, remember that you are using up like 1/10 of the color of the paint that you use when not using a dry when you're using a dry palette, and the color and the paint is like clips, not clips, but it clumps, like it stacks together and stuff. Yeah, sorry, forgot to zoom in, my dear lads. Like this, now you see my shirt, now you see my big glass of wrong way, yeah, something like that, and we try to have it a little bit oh, it's so hard to do this with one hand. Try to do a bit more. Anyway, so the hamata scabbard and stuff like that. Are we rather horizontal? No, there you go. That's more like it. Then I can switch myself a bit higher. So now you see me very good. Okay, let's do. We apply a bit of white. We are martini shaken, not stirred, as they say. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing the orcs, but I'm gonna do the orcs the old-fashioned way, right? About the same way as these, because these are the cream de la cream of that unit, so they need to be really good. And then I need to do some shields for them orcs. Oh, drop this one. Good, I didn't drop it in the water, because then you never know what could happen. So we put about 1/3, 1/4 of the blue color. Now let's twist them up, stir them around a bit, and remember, we don't want to have this big contrast. Just enough that you see that is another color, but not too much, not too much. Maybe like this. Yeah, let's see if this color works. And then I will just apply it on the top. This thing is gonna be hidden beneath his shield, right? Yeah, looking good. And then the upper part like this one, the shoulder, this one, then we have something here that's sticking up, and here is rather big, and here. And now the other part. The upper part is more or less the whole, and we go like this. Hide the mole line a bit. I think you can use, I'm thinking of some term. Well, I heard that some people actually use the term mold spikes, so I'm correct on that one. And now about the mold spikes. I don't think you can say mold spikes, because I don't think there is any mold spikes actually. But what you can say is, like, if you chop them wrong from the from the spur, you can say spur spikes. Or you could maybe say something else, like like an Well, cost spike. Awesome, but they maybe still be a too bit of dark. Have you? Are you painted? Yeah, I think this one is painted. So, and now while I'm paint these guys, but often I use a bit too much paint when I'm highlighting. I have this big blob on top of the brush. I don't know if that's good or not, but maybe I should have been a bit more lighter with this one, because you see the difference in the color up close, but the thing is that you should see it more, because it's miniatures is not let's hide the more line and some thick coat of paint, and we apply these. Anyway, I spent some hours looking at the history of Rome, and actually I thought that Pompey was the rebellious one, not that the Senate had pointed him out as leader or a supreme patriarch or whatever you call those guys in the Senate. Because when Caesar entered Rome, no one was there to greet him. Everybody was like fleeing and were terrified of him. So actually he is the usurper. So it's gonna be fun to play the let's say the real Romans. And of course I know that Pompey's army was a bit like a mixed match of some allies and stuff like that, but for the simplicity of it, because I want to play Rome, he wants to play Rome, well, he has a Rome army already, and playing, as I said, playing Gauls or whatever is not my thing. Even though that Lorica Hamata came from the Gauls, or the Celts. Anyway, the tribes in France. And was adopted by Rome. I would like to well, Lorica Hamata sounds like Hakuna Matata. Just by the way, and now I see his damn white dots again. There was a dot there. Anyway, so let's now, and I have a bit more paint actually. So wonder if I know the shields, we need to ink them first. Then we could like paint them blue. So yeah, we're gonna ink them real fast. The brown side, or the whole shield, but we take a side because hopefully this one will stay for a while. And we do the other one here, chuk, like this, and we have still the moistured, not wet but moistured pencil, applying layer on the brown side of life. was close that I stick the brush into the blue color. That's not ink. Make it a bit darker here, like this. Now we take the other one. And we are actually not doing much. Yeah, awesome. Oh, haha, we have a hand here sticking up from the shield. You see it? It's the chap with a torn off shield. So we need to paint that one and ink it. So I totally forgot about this poor hand. Lost in battle, they say. No. No, the interesting part of the battle when Pompey loses to Caesar is that they didn't have any archers in that battle. No slingers, so they have cavalry, and they have Roman. Well, of course, they had some allies, but I think the allies fought in the same way as the Roman did, because I saw this one chap on the YouTube that said that there were no at all recorded history that they wouldn't fight, but maybe they had some different armament. That's it. Now let's see if we can find the. Now let's let them wait a bit, and now we do the skin, because we'll use the skin for the hand as well. So we do the skin, tinted skin, because they'll be marching a bit. So this great yerba mate, it's really doing shake it good, shake it bad wonders with my taste nostril, or how do you say it? I have rather warm here inside at home. I think I've turned up the heat a bit too much, but let's see if we could do it a bit more and have it even better, so we can really feel ourselves as the Romans. Oh no, this one don't cover so good. It's gonna suck to paint these ones. So kneecaps, of course, they are rather exploited to the sun. And then we have the calves, the rear part of the skin. Here we need to lighten it up a bit, and the knees and the toes. Yes, we need to go berserk on them toes. Yes. Like this, something. Okay, the same thing goes for the other leg. Here and here, and make it meet up here. Now these parts of the hand. I'm not the best fellow in the world to paint skin, but I'm trying. Just imagine that I'm the sun looking down on the details. Actually, I could. I don't want to. I thought that I could make this a bit more. I'm not transparent, but I could make this. Me and skin. I wonder if there's a skin course on board on the internet somewhere just to meet you. Yes, now this his fingers. I think when I started to paint, when I started to paint, I painted with with the pencil that I had, but then I got into these micro thin ones, like 0 and 00 and 000 size brushes. Yeah, and the pilum, I didn't find any reference on the pilum part. Yeah. Now I need to be very gentle here while I'm painting the fingers, because the recesses next to the fingers aren't that deep. So every shake. Yeah, a tip when you paint hands and stuff like that, remember that you can. Oh yeah, I just fucked it up. That you could start painting the thickest one, because we have more paint from the start, right? So you paint the ones that are a bit more exposed, the thicker ones. Now we need to salvage the one finger, because he's a bit miss. Yeah, that's good enough. Of course, the upper part of his hand. And going down here on the elbow, maybe a bit. That should be enough. And then the this part of the hand is like the bright one, and then maybe this one here. Biceps is done, triceps is done, and the other hand. Now his face, and this is the broken nosed one that's going up first. So we are taking out the color here and going straight on his nose, the biggest part of him, and his cheekbones. It's rather hard and a lot of details, and I don't have a lamp still. So as soon as the... Okay, now he just lost all of his face. I can't really talk with... Oh, there goes the eye. Okay. So he has a big broken nose, and no cheekbone is right side, and his eyes just disappeared. So that was not good. Let's see if I can salvage it real fast with some shadow, like shadowing his eyes. Yeah. And then I need to shadow the other one a bit, and then a bit over the nose. Like this. Maybe I need a smaller, like a WWWO pencil for his cheeks. And he has a rather masculine face, I must say.
This part is hard to paint.
Well, he doesn't have the mustache, but still. Yeah, and his nose. And his cheekbones. His other cheekbones. Okay, now well. Now we take the other one. So we start with the kneecaps. This one is a bit, I must say, more to the bone. This one has been eating a lot of extra bread on the route and had not been marching so good as the other man had. Yeah. Or he has a big problem with his lympha because he has rather swollen legs. Same thing when you paint and you have, if you want to do this nice and clean surface, the paint like runs away or flows away from the miniature, right? Okay, so he's holding his arm here, so this is going to be light. The whole width of the thumb, like a bit more color there. Yes. The elbow. We do the. He has a biceps here. And there, of course, he has a bicep, but he has exposed biceps here. And then the upper part of this arm, and maybe here. And the thumb. And on the other side, I have elbows. Calves again. And here, yes, we need to even that the elbow is a bit under the skin. No, beneath the projection of the sun, or do we want to do that? No, we don't want to do that. Yeah, this one is one. Now let's do the fingers. And then we have the face. Oh, the face. Poor face. So we have one finger here, a long, gentle lines. They just run into each other. That's sad. We have this pointy finger, the long finger, the ring finger, and the little finger just run into each other. Sadly. But we can repair it with a lot of ink. Well, not a lot of ink, but enough ink to put it all over. And yeah, something like that. No more. There you go. And a bit here maybe. And those more lines. I should maybe had thought of it before I started to prime them, but they were like that. I just want to have some fun and paint some miniatures. And now I'm being dragged into this whole dark hole with the whole new era of Caesar, whole new era of miniatures, a whole new rule set, and a whole new other stuff. Well, I think that there's a lot of different modes that you can play. different rule sets. I don't think Warlords has the monopole, but I'm very comfortable with the idea to have, like as they did for the bolt action. I think that's a nice idea, that you don't really know what's happening on the battlefield. If you don't know if you are doing the action or the opponent is doing action, because you draw a dice, right? So I think that's a cool mechanic. And the orders with the black powder. I'm not familiar for the rules of the Hail Caesar, or we can call it Imperia Romana or whatever. So that's going to be a new challenge, well, not challenge, but new rules to get my hands on. And when we do that, yes, they look good now, and a bit on top. Biceps, no biceps. Now this hands looks, well, this arm looks a bit different, right? Because it's how do you say, it looks like a shirt, so I don't know if the muscles are thought of while making them. It looks like a crumble up, actually crumble up. I don't say I can do it better, but this is just my opinion when I'm painting that. It looks like more like a crumble up sweater or something. Yeah, I thought to myself as a real professional when I learn up or about the Lorica Hamata and Lorica Segmentata that came after. And these are the Montenegro's that's own helmets, or the Mont something, the earlier version. So this could be, it's not, I don't think it's Punic War helmets, but anyway, they were still used in the Roman army, but they had an upgrade that came a bit later with the helmets. Got a bit of color here, yes. And the plumes, I did not get that. Oh, that's good. We have about 4 of them done. Now when I'm thinking, oh no, the face. Oh. Do you guys get the bit of feeling that I don't like painting faces? They could all. Oh well, this one is very frightening. This one is yelling out loud. He's trying to scare his opponents away by literally screaming his lungs out. Like the first time I paint miniatures, I don't know how far I can go with the light ones, with the first color. I know the calves are rather big and sticks out, but then and this one is here, yes, and this one is here. Because after this I would do this one. Nice. Now we have his arm, and again he has this twisted arm here, He has his elbow rather exposed. We're not going all the way up. And on the other side, either side, we can do like this. And we will try gently to... They look a bit dirty. Yeah, dirty boys. Yeah. Painting biceps, focused. I accidentally touched the tunic so rapidly due to the fact I'm working with a water palette. I can immediately fix that, so I don't need to open any paints and just go chuff and it's covered. So nice. So it's therefore I'm going to see if I can find rather cheap water palette from the army painter, because I really like them. I have a friend that he said, I'm only painting with those army painters, they're the best. I won't even look at some other colors. Okay. And in most of the time he's right. Army painter paints are really good. If you have a steady hand, you can paint, but if you don't, like me, I'm wobbling all over this place. His hands, like his poor fingers, is like Stevie Wonder with the piano, all over the place. Now, let's do this brown ink, and then we have the faces. I don't want to paint faces today. Where's the ink? Here's the ink. Yeah, that was my dog. He's rather funny because he runs like everything he has up fast as hell from the kitchen that is like 2 meters away from the sofa in the living room, right? And he's running up like everything he's got, like rugga, and then whoop, and just he lies there, very satisfied with himself that he managed to do that. Now let's see if we can take a bit of more of the yerba mate. Nothing comes up to a warm fluid or a drink or a cup of fluid in a warm room. So I'm really sweating over here. So let's try to make these fingers a bit more steady. No. Come on, it looks like warts. Poor guy got the plague already. He's the plague bearer. Oh. No, he's not. Misfortune, poor Roman. Now, yeah. Come on. Sometimes I got this small of a ball on top of one of these. I need to scrub it off with my finger. Sometimes I receive a very little dot of dry paint just on top of it, like a small ball. Now let's see, where were I? And once again, let's try to hold them steady. Paint this ring finger. Yeah, that one 1,000 times better. Now just his top of his fingers. You really need to have the patience when you do this. And that's nice because you like drop everything else. Ah, it's okay. A small wart can be. Oh, the face. So I'm aiming for the chin, the lips, the nose, of course. And I start, oh well, I'm coming up with a cough, that's not good. The nostril on this fellow is rather big. Oh, sorry. Maybe a bit too much yerba mate. That's better. It's a bit windy. I'm losing my voice. All right, that went really good. Now the other side. Top of his pointy nose. Well, that's a big nose. Okay, we have a broken nose and we have a big nose. Now the thing is, I wonder, do I paint his teeth? Do I do it? Because I can screw it up, but they're like about a 0.3 millimeters at 3 millimeters. So okay, now I have some cat hair. That's the newest member of our family, a cat. Her name is Dixie. I'm training up her for the rodent plague that's infesting my walls. Well, it's not a scaving invasion, but I found some mice runways in the isolation, so I need to work with that, and therefore she is here. Yeah, but I wonder if we need not to do it a bit lighter. Do I have a black paint? No, the black paint is dry. Okay, so he's done, and the one with the broken nose is done as well. Maybe we'll get his. Now the broken nose guy. He will get his nose highlighted in two spots. Here, where he did broken, and on top of the tip. So he's gonna have a lighter piece of paint applying to it. Now we do this fellow. He's more like Putin, and he has a crack in his. He looks more like Putin. Well, I think this is the second time I say that, but actually it does. So we have a big nose, Putin himself in this unit. Yeah, it looks great. Now the last face. I don't want to overdo it, right? So on the lighter one, I will take a really small pencil, the smaller one, detail brush, and now this one has a very long nose, a running nose. No, it's not a running nose, and he has this a bit big chin, like not chin, but the Now we need to fix his face real fast, especially on the upper lip, so it doesn't look like a Hitler. That would be shameful. It's not the right century. Now, between his chin and here, yeah, right here somewhere. Apply some, yeah, like that, and there. Now, the hand that's holding that holding the shield. So we're just gonna paint it like this. Remember not to paint on top of the color here, on top of the place when we're gonna put the glue, and hopefully well, a bit in we could actually, but not all the way in. Yeah, so this one is drying. Now, what do we need more? We need more. So we have the toes. Right, the toes. So we have a big toe. Maybe not all of them toes, but you have some that are rather poor. Due to the mold line that I was too lazy to scrape off. Don't do it. I think I will just go with the this is a big toe. Yes, this is one toe. This is the next toe, and this is the toe next to it. So one, because we don't want to paint 6 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The small toe and the other toe just. Now I'm starting to get those small balls again. I don't know what it can be. Yeah, that's a bad habit that I have. Sorry about that. Hey, easy. Cut it out. Sometimes I need to yell at the dog because he forgets that he's like 10 times bigger than a cat. Now let's see how we can do toes on this fellow. It's the same here with this left foot. Not the best more lines. One big toe, semi toe, and a toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like that's good. Don't overdo it. 1, 2. Awesome. I'm so good at this. Wow. Now I think this one got his toe teared off in the battle, so he only has 4 toes in that. I think that could really happen, that you lose 1 toe. Wonder how many people lost their toes. Especially when you're running around with sandals. Due to the fact that you are running with sandals can make a toe go off. Orika Hamata. Well, the names are rather cool. Yes, and the last fellow. I hope he has all his toes left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the other foot. I don't know about you, but I'm like really stiffing up when I'm painting details. So I have all these muscle like plunged up. A small toe and a little bit bigger than a small toe. Yeah, great. So this layer went good. Let's see if his hand is as dried. Yeah, it's dried enough for the ink. La 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 la. So we're inking this hand. So let's see, it will shine. Something like that. And then we can glue them up later. But we need to do the coifs. The metal thing is. Now I've seen that they're having this like broad around on the hamata, right? The lorica hamata. They had this upper part that actually are not doubled, right? As I understand it. So it goes up here and then it comes all over. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. Now the plumes. What color? Maybe hydra turquoise and toxic mist. Real light kind of nice colored. I don't know. They're like semi-fantasy. No, they're not semi. They should have regular. I don't know, black or white or something like that. So maybe we can go the easy way and do a contrast. Contrast. What do we have? We have. By the way, Games Workshop, come on, do something with those jars, man. Is it only me, or you see the difference in the quality of the jars? Hopeless, just hopeless. I know some guy he's putting all of his Citadel colors into these, so he's like buying a haul of these on the eBay. I don't know, some from China, some like hundreds of them. Put 2 bolts and then drip all of the color inside here. Of course, he's running out about 10%, but easier to work with. So where do we have the temple bread? Now we can have this contrast apothecary white. Or maybe was it too white? Contrast brown. No, not brown, but contrast yellow, contrast core. And we have the contrast basilicum gray. Maybe this is the one, because this is a real bright. Blight was a soldier in the Band of Brothers, by the way, shot in the neck. Okay, so we are thinking of those silvery tones, and then we'll do. Actually, we try a big dry brush. I hate dry brushing. It's like the worst thing ever that happens to me. Anyway, so are we done? Yes. Now the coifs and the pilums. Helm is gonna be gold because I don't have browns. So gold paint with soft ink on top of it. It should dampen them a bit. And we are gonna do on top of this ones. We're gonna do the dark ink on the metals, just to make it a slight calmer show on this one. So let's do the color, right? We have here gunmetal. Gunmetal is not the brightest of them all. I don't like the bright metal because it feels so like parade like. Actually, some people really, I think, are painting metal as gray, not too shiny. But metal should be metal, right? So let's see if there you go. It was stuck real good. And then we apply on our homemade water palette, not too much, like this, and then we screw them back. We put the pencil here, not too much color, and just do it a bit of nice. Oh no, well, this is gonna be a terrible job for the ink. Leo. Sorry, I needed to put my foot down for the dog. He's messing around with the poor little cat. Well, she's not that poor. It's not like he's eating her or something like that, so don't get your imagine up. The hamata is almost done on this one. This side came out really good, but the back a bit. I hope it will turn down a bit while because I can't have this little bright color. Then I will need to repaint the magical. It's like effing everything up. And here and here, and now I'm doing the shoulders. Yes, and here we have some tunic that I forgot to paint. A cool name. And we are saving those boards on the shoulder part of the Lorica Hamata for the we can do actually like bronze kind of thing, but okay, it's done. Let's do this pilum. Remember, as I said, don't brush horizontally, brush alongside with this. Right? So you just spray it and the thing is that if you just jab a long bit, if you not that I think it looks better if it's not all covered, if you have some black spots. Yeah. Well, he's wow. Now we do this part, this one, and we will take it off a bit, so not too much. This one is the one with the golden or bronze belt thing. So this this is like, I think, a semi way of dry brushing. A little bit of paint, not too much, and you just put it, I think, yeah, you could call this a way of dry brushing, but I'm still painting, and I'm not jumping all over the miniature with fast moving motion. Take out the extent of the color. Yeah, now the pilum, or pilly. There was this guy that was really good in terminology, and he said all the terminology for the, like, cohort. Cohort is the old line with all these light skirmishers in the front, and then you have these boys in the back, and then you have the triads, and a whole line of these are a cohort, as you call them. So this is how the Roman army ended up maneuvering. Yeah, and then he was talking about centurions and Octorius or Octopus or whatever, the guy in the back that's filling in, that is yelling that call the lines, and only the centurion has his strange helmet on with cap of horse, feather dyed red, or they could have, no, there's no idea to have a brown plume. It's like, why should you put poor, because like in the army you should be had the status, because if you have a richer armor, then maybe the enemies think that you are richer, which meant that they won't fight you. It's like if you don't attack the American troops, because you know they have lots of stuff, even that maybe just that the soldier is the worst soldier in the whole world. I don't mean that the United States Marine Corps are the worst, but we just take it for example. Then you say, I'm not attacking him, he's maybe good. It's the same with these guys, I think. That if you had a lot of armor and a lot of nice armor, then maybe people thought that you were really this conqueror, and actually, but you are more than a cook of the cohort or of the legion. So yeah. That's good, that's coming up good. Not really quite satisfied with the dry brushing technique that I'm using. So that's his pilum. We need to paint his pilum. Now, what kind of minute are we into? We are at least like 5 hours in or something like that, so I need to speed it up. Maybe we do the helmets a bit later, like tomorrow. But we need to paint it a bit faster, actually. Now the back of the film, but I think I'd rather have, anyway, I think I would rather good speed, but we see what the let's take this, and then we're gonna dry off the extent of the color of the paint, because now I'm really just throwing paint on them, so we actually advance a bit in the speed. And this is the this is the I don't know, maybe the green one. Yes, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. In other words, I have no words. I have no words for this terrible painting method. Hate painting mail. I always overdo with the color at the start. Norika Hamata. Nice ring to it. Okay, now the pilum, and then we have these guys done. We need just to put an, a bit of ink, dark ink on the metal, and after it we can do the gold part. Yeah, okay, they look rather good. Still don't know the color of the plumes. Maybe need to, but there should be some information about Caesar's, about how Pompey's army's colors, or isn't it, or is it not? Let's think. I have seen somewhere, just maybe for the change of the that you differentiate, or do you see the difference between the left and right side of the? But we need to take a deeper look on the color. Maybe I need to repaint them. That was so funny. I mean, so funny. Or maybe I bend the history to my needs and see some text that some of the Rome of them had blue shields. That's my interpretation. Whatever you call it. That's my version of the history. So we hide the dry brush pencil really deep. We're far away from the world, and now we let them dry a bit. Or should we do the gold part or bronze part, like the helmet and stuff? No, the helmet is gonna be in this color, so we need to splash the ink on them with the ink brush. This one is a bit chubby like, see? Well, they are, everyone is so torn, but that's the thing I work with. So don't mix up the brown and the black. So we put the black here. Yes. Like this. And then we're gonna just dip it. Okay, that was a bit too much. Because I don't want the color to, the ink to go on top of the tunic or maybe the belt that is already inked. Yeah, I put those male rings, tune them down a bit so they don't stare me into the eyes. The pillion could be in a rather bit lighter color. Now his shoulder straps. And the other shoulder strap. And we can put some ink here. On the screws. Yes, he's done. Let's. I'm very curious and wonder how they're gonna be. If the ink is so powerful that it blends down the color a bit, I really hope so, because there are some parts that are really shiny. They're like this parade armor shiny thing, and some parts are okay. On this Lorica Hamata, it sounds like a samurai. Oh, Hamata. Lorica Hamata, warriors. But I don't think that the Roman language has anything to do with the Japanese language, do you? Except that they both have rather heavy cultures. The samurai and the legionnaire, like those, that's two very iconic warriors. And you have the knight, and you have the Mongols, and what else do you have? The Swedish 13-year-old war pikeman. That's also rather classic. And then you have the Mustafa system. No, but so this one guy, we are dipping him real good in color here at the transition where the pillion, metal part of the pillion comes up with the shaft of brown wood. Now I wonder if I'm not tuning them down too much. Wonder if they had any like padding underneath. What do you think? Did the Romans have any padding under their armor? Well, we can write that into the internet and see what comes up. Okay, now I can say that they are done. A bit more ink there and there. Oh no, I have the last one. Sometimes I'm doing these guys real fast, and sometimes I'm feeling like, oh, I'm not making any progress. I have like 2 people left all the time. So yeah, it's all different, Some days the painting comes like flying by, and I just look up the clock and say, oh dear God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank God it's Sunday tomorrow or something like that, because otherwise I have this need to get up to work early, and I have this alarm clock extension that brings in a certain time, so that I don't overextend the regular days when I'm doing this, because you really can be sucked into the void of miniatures and do like, first of all, you're planning of painting. It takes 1 hour because you maybe need to study up for some colors or whatever, and then you do the painting, or you start to prepare for the painting, and then you start to paint, and then your wife comes up in the morning of the, I know, Saturday, and says, why are you still up? Wow, yeah, by the way, I remember some days ago, or a week or a month, I was like painting away here before I started streaming. I was painting my orcs, and my wife came up to me and said, why don't you hear your son screaming from the upper floor? And actually, and crossed my heart, I didn't hear it. I was so focused here. And then she said something about we can have a bomb hit our house and you wouldn't know. And that's true. That's true. Yeah. Ah, yeah, the pilum. Did we do them? Yeah, we did it. Okay, so let's have these guys dried up a bit, and then we apply the gold details, and then we're gonna maybe we can do the, now we're gonna do the metal part, bronze part with this color, and then we're gonna do ink them to put the tune down a bit, and after that there are more, maybe or just maybe yeah, the shields, maybe I will go up with a tone with the facial color, but I'm not quite sure, so we see about that. I have flock. I don't know if I will use the turf, the elastic, the static grass. I have the static grass applicator, but it has this really hard kick. Have you tried it? It's this box with this thing on top, and a metal base or something sort. And the idea that they will flow up, they will go upwards, understand? So you keep your miniatures on top of the pile of static grass that lies on top of the machine, and go like sucky motion. But when I accidentally touch the 2 diodes or the connectors or whatever you say, it got, I was like, oh my god, this hurt. I don't know if my heart gonna take it, but it gives you a rather hard kick. We won't highlight the sandals. We leave the sandals as they are. Maybe we put up a bit brighter color on those skin parts. Tunic, I think I don't know how the gold gonna be all on the part, maybe too much, but they will have these golden helmets. So, and they will have some golden parts. So I think they will be really nice and cool and awesome Pompey army guys. So I need, how many do you have in a unit in Hail Caesar? I don't know, 20. So I have 16 more. for the elite regiment. Then I think I will need at least 2 units of the regular, and then at least 1 unit of skirmishers. So yeah, let's see how it works out. So it's about maybe 15 or 20 skirmishers, or 40, 60, 76 miniatures, plus a general, a standard bearer. I know, so at least 80 models. Then we have the cavalry that we need to think of. That's in the horses. Oh, that's another problem that I have. Painting fur. Painted like the color of the horse, you know, with the white here in the top of his face, and then a bit like brown or a grayish kind of for the nozzle of the horse, and then you have the hooves, right? And the thing is, I had a painter, I don't know which YouTube channel it was, but he said that the hooves aren't never black. Okay, so that was his opinion. Yeah, anyway, thank you for maybe today, I'm not quite sure, because I see the clock running wild and crazy. Maybe I will get back to this after these guys have cooled off a bit, because they are a bit of stressed up now. They are very emotional because they are the first 4 to be painted. Nice. Yeah, so see you in a bit. Yeah, anytime now.